are looking at similar polygons. We'll note that the similar polygons lesson is going to be very similar to what you did yesterday with similar triangles. Okay, just like similar triangles, similar polygons are just where one polygon has been dilated, either becoming bigger or smaller than the original shape. Right? Just like with our triangles in any sided polygon, the angles of our original shape are going to be the same as those in the dilated shape. So just like when we solved yesterday for those similar triangles, today to figure out these missing sides we are going to have to set up our proportions. We'll note for this problem we have a variable on each of our shapes here, so that means that we are going to have to create two different proportions. Right? For the first proportion, let's go ahead and solve for x. So, again, we need to find on our other shape the corresponding side to x. So in this case, that corresponding side would be the 22. So we'll use those two to make our first fraction, and we'll get x over 22. Then it equals. Now for this part, we have to be careful. We see we have a 10 and a 7. And we'll note that we cannot use the 10 to create our scale factor for that second fraction, because if we look at our other shape, that matches up with a y. And if we have an equation with an x and a y, we will not be able to solve it. So instead, we'll use the 7 as part of our scale factor, and we see that that 7 corresponds to the 12 on our larger polygon. So we'll use these two to create our second fraction. Since x on the smaller polygon is on top of this fraction, we need to make sure that we use the 7, which is also on the smaller polygon, as the top number in our fraction. And then the 12 will go on the bottom. Alright, so now we have set up our proportion, and just like we've been doing, we will take and cross multiply. So we will get 12 times x times 12, which gives us 12x. And it's going to equal to 7 times 22, which gives us 154. Then we have that same one-step equation. This time we will divide both sides by 12. And 154 divided by 12, we will round that answer to 12.83. So that is our final answer for x. Now we'll note for this problem, we also have a y. So to solve for y, we'll go ahead and start and create a new proportion. So we'll see that the y matches up with the 10. So in this case, we'll have y over 10. Then it will equal, we're still going to use the 7 and the 12, but we want to notice that since y is on top of this fraction, I need to make sure and put 12 on top of my second fraction, because these are both from my big polygon here, so that means they both need to be on the tops, and the 10 is from my smaller polygon, so the 7, which is also on that smaller polygon, will need to go on the bottom. Once we have our proportions set up, we can go ahead and do our cross multiplying yet again. So we'll have y times 7 will give us 7y equals 10 times 12, going to give us 120. Then we'll go ahead and divide both sides by 7. So we get that y is approximately 17.14. Alright, so now again you have another worked out example and a few practice problems to look at for your lesson. Also feel free to look at your lesson from yesterday and that video if you would like some extra help.